Stage one was pretty unreal. I mean, DC absolutely killing it that last period in the championship round on Toledo Bend, and hoisting the first trophy of the year was pretty awesome. Man, to see him, the hard work pay off, but you love to see your best friends compete and do well. But it also pushes you to do more and work harder, and it definitely pushed me a little bit. So stage two, Santee Cooper is here. This lake is very rich in bass fishing history. I remember watching film of Preston Clark with 30 pounds, a big, largemouth, and all this crazy stuff going on when I was a little kid. So to really think that this is actually gonna be my first time competing and actually fishing on Santee Cooper is a little crazy, being that I've been fishing as a professional for quite some time now. So Santee Cooper is made up of two bodies of water. You have Lake Moultrie on the South Lake, and that's a huge bowl. It's like almost like a big Lake Okeechobee or like a small Lake Okeechobee. Wind blows, there's not a lot of places to get out of the wind. It's very susceptible to a lot of that wind. So that's one lake, and then you go up the canal, and then you have Lake Marion. And Lake Marion is a little bit different there's a lot more pockets, there's creeks, there's places to get in and out of the wind. And no matter what your style as an angler, these lakes are gonna have it. So I'm excited though, because new bodies of water, there's always something there's always something to figure out. And I feel like I learn more when I go to a new body of water. And one of the reasons I love fishing new bodies of water is because of that reason. Is literally I have to just figure the place out on the go. And there's no better satisfaction as an angler is when you get it dialed in. And it's a pretty chilly morning, 34 degrees. The guys set the pace yesterday, Group A fish yesterday, and DC caught him pretty well. I think 45 pounds was ultimately leading. It's time to lock in. This morning, you can just tell it's going to be one of them days. It's going to be a little tough. 6 bites a day. I pull up to my first spot. It's an offshore group of fish that was actually out off the bank a little bit more, a little sneakier. And I pull up there and, they're just following my jerkbait. I hook one, and it comes off, and I throw back out there, jerk, 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 lock up. First fish of the day, 2-pounder, decent fish. I'm like, awesome. That fish will get me at least started, okay? Score track was a little bit slow. Go a little bit further, shake around, drag around, doop, doop, on a shaky head, set the hook, 4.5-pounder. First spot, it was not necessarily how I thought. I thought I was gonna catch more fish, so it was good to know this place didn't have the numbers that I thought it might. The next place I go to, I throw that freeloader out there, I'm shaking it, shaking and baking, and just line goes like limp. Pick that thing up, and I'm like, oh my gosh. 6+ pounder to start off. Everything's starting to click now. Boom, catch one on a freeloader. Boom, catch one on a freeloader. And just a little bit longer, hook another one. I'm like, gosh. Another big one comes up. This is like one of those awesome days. I couldn't have asked for a better start to this tournament.
Probably going to hold another trip to the knockout round for Jacob Wheeler. He smashed him 53 pounds and 8 ounces on day number 1, the best individual day that anybody has had through 3 days so far this week.
Alongside Academy Sports and Outdoors angler Jacob Wheeler, let's talk about it. Weather's coming in, things are changing quickly. Give me the base plan for today.
I think this weather's really going to make the shallow fish bite. We've had a warm night last night. We're just going to see. I'm going to go check a couple areas. It has been a long time since the first day of practice, so I'm trying to sort of go around and sort of see what's changed.
Like a gladiator unsheathing his swords.
Day 2 is elimination day. If I'm going to win this tournament, this day is going to be the most important day for that to happen. Come here. First one in the morning right there. Look at that dang chunk, dude. That's what Santee Cooper's all about, man. They're just chunky, fat fish. Quality fish, man. That's the name of the game this week. Idling around, I catch 2 fish early on in the first period. I'm locked in. The cut's made, no problem. I'm gonna make the top 10 cut.
That one is the knockout round for sure.
So now I'm locked in, and now it's practice time. So I'm spending the rest of the day idling in the cockpit of the Icon, idling around looking for those locations. Stop, look around. Oh, there's some fish there, cast out there. And if they come up there and look at my bait, I'm reeling it away from them. I do not want to catch them. I don't want to educate them. I just want to know they're bass. And listen, I'm going to come see you here in the knockout round of the championship round for sure.
You have to understand this. This tournament is not a sprint. It's a marathon. My mindset's always thinking about the end result, and that's to win. To win at the end of the week, to hoist the trophy at the end of the week. So I'm not exactly sure how the knockout round is going to unfold. I feel like I have enough places now that I just have to figure out the right rotation, and I should be good.
Good morning, everyone. It is the knockout round. Man, I'm looking forward to this one. It's actually a little calmer than I anticipated, which is good for right now. Winds are going to kick up. So I feel like I have an opportunity to win this tournament, but I have to get by today. With the wind blowing, I'm just not as efficient as how I want to fish. There's big ones out there. They're still pre-spawning. And if they're still there, I mean, I'm going to have to make every single bite count.
Starting off the first period, it was a little slow grind. Oh, dang. It was definitely one fish, one here, one there. Like, I wasn't catching any big ones. I really thought that I was going to catch big ones ultimately to qualify. And like the first 3 bites were just like 2-pounders. And I'm like, I mean, they all count, but it's a lot easier to get to 25, 30 pounds with 5 and 6 pounders than it is with 2-pounders, of course. So I had to sort of dig a little deeper than I wanted to. Second period, roll up to an area that I felt pretty good about.
I thought it was a big one.
I was able to catch them pretty good, quick.
Yes, sir. Okay.
All right, got us another. Toward the end of the day, clock's sort of ticking, and I'm score tracker update, 22 pounds, the cut line, and I had 28. And now I'm like, all right, I gotta catch one more. So I leave the area that I was fishing, and I get on this place, I pull up there and hook up. Boom, baby, yes, sir. There you go. There's a championship round. Look at that. Freeloader, 3/16 ounce, VMC hybrid head.
5 pounds, 15 ounces.
5.15, and that solidifies my spot right there.
That one just punched her ticket.
Yes, sir. All right. Tomorrow's championship day. I just have to trust the process and keep my head down and focus. Every cast counts. The goal is to win. So that's the plan tomorrow, go out there and leave it all out in the lake.
I barely slept last night, like barely. Like you just have those feelings like you prepared everything you could. Today's the day. I wake up early and we get to the ramp, we drop in, the wind's blowing a little bit harder. There's nothing better than like taking off on the championship day because you're 1 in 10 shot of winning the tournament. Have this plan in my mind and how it's going to go down. So I'm running across the lake and the waves get bigger and bigger and bigger. And about halfway across the lake, I'm realizing that this plan that I had is not going to work for this first period. We're going to have to call an audible. And I take a left. And I run down the way. And so, of course, lines in happens. And, the fish are acting weird. I throw a jig out there. Hop it over a place. I'm talking on live. And I pick up. Feel it clench down on it. Like, when a fish has it, like I didn't feel him bite it, but he already had it and he clenched down on it. I'm like, whoosh. First bite of the morning, 5+ pounder. And I'm like, okay. So to give you guys a little bit of understanding what's going on, when the wind blows, a lot of times those fish use that cover for like a place to get out of that wind current. And so that's when I'm like, all right, they're towards the bottom. They aren't up high. They're towards the bottom. They're hunkering down.
Well, Wheeler's hooked up.
Got us one.
2 pounds, 3 ounces.
All right. First period, we had 3 bass that were Right at 11 pounds, we're sitting in the right position. And as I'm sitting during this break, the wind's slowing down. I'm starting to smile a little bit, like it's freeloader time. Let's be patient. Let's take our time. And this was like really important. I start to make a progression. I don't rush to my primary area because the wind slowed down. I stop back on a place. I caught one on a jig, throw that freeloader over. First bite of the period, get that fish in the boat, good to go. Next place, roll up there, another one eats it, good fish, comes up, get that fish in the boat. So now I'm like getting a little confidence. I'm like, okay, things are clicking. Yes. And as I get to my rotation up the lake a little bit, it was really like, yes, sir. Most of the time when I'm getting a cast, and you guys see this, like I'm just shaking that bait and I'm looking and I'm like, come on, bite it, bite it. There's 3 or 4 4 to 8 pounders sitting there just swimming, look at the bait. They're like, no, I don't like the way that one swims. I don't like the smell of it. That color's too much. There's too much flake in that. Like, I mean, I sort of like think about like what's going on with their mind. Like, you know, of course you try to think that way. And so there's bite windows. That is probably the biggest thing of this tournament. There's bite windows that go down.
Rojas is done here for period 2. So it looks like he'll take a 2.5-pound lead to the third and final period.
We're going tit for tat right now, and I just need one of them great big ones to sort of get us ahead.
So at the end of the second period, you know, we're neck and neck with Dean Rojas. I'm going to be honest with you. That third period, to me, in a championship round, when you have an opportunity to win a tournament, there's nothing better. The intensity that in my mind, like, all I'm thinking about is putting the next fish in the boat. That's it. I live for these kind of moments. This third period has been tough. It's been tough. The bite windows, they stop. And I felt like you could just tell that there's nobody's catching any fish. There's no movement. First start of the period, you know, I take the lead.
Wheeler, 2.5 pounds off the lead. Just underway here in this third period. Could put him on top for the first time today.
That's exactly how you want him to have it.
And I'm like, all right, you know, this is a big deal. But then, you know, Dean slowed down and I slowed down catching him. So I'm running around. About an hour and some change to go. This period, I pull back through my rotation. And there's a place, and I'm like, gosh, I hope there's one there. And I'm shaking him, shaking bait. One eats that freeloader, hit the hook. We get a little bit up on Dean. And I go to my next place, cast out there, set the hook. Another good fish.
Right there are priceless right now.
Throw back out there, catch another good one.
Back to Wheeler. JT, you've said it. When he catches one, he seems to catch 2.
It does. Okay, yeah, seems like it.
Baby, yes! I have this vibe, like, we got Dean down a little bit. We're up by about 9 pounds. And, like, I'm feeling pretty good. And then, boom, boom. Dean catches 2 more bass, and now we're up by 4 pounds. And it's like an hour left. And I'm like, gosh, you got to be kidding me. And now we're back down to one, so basically a 4-pounder, which they've caught so many 8-pounders this week on Santee Cooper. It's insane. Make your head spin. And this is the moment, like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, my gut's telling me, like, are you going to sit here and rotate on the same stuff and trying to get one more bite? Or are you going to make a move? And with 25 minutes to go, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I got one place across the lake. It's about a 13-minute run. We're up by 4 pounds. If we catch one, we probably win. If we don't, we probably lose. And I've lost tournaments in this scenario. I lost Red Crest to Bobby Lane by just a couple ounces in the last minute. And so I'm sort of having flashbacks a little bit of that moment. I'm like, you ain't gonna leave anything out here, man. We gotta leave it all out here on the water. We gotta focus, and I'm about to make that decision.
You know what Jacob Wheeler wins a lot, I think? He's running out across the middle of the lake right now with 17 minutes left. Instead of just staying put, staying where he was, trying to grind out another fish. He's going making stuff happen. I'm telling you, he's in the middle of the lake wide open right now. I'm watching him on the GPS.
Yeah, I can see him too.
Yeah, he's in the middle of the lake wide open. Going someplace he hasn't been. Look at this guy. Here he is.
And so many would be sitting
He's
on
going
one spot hoping that they could hang on.
But he's making it happen. He's a foot to the floor. That Mercury's singing like it doesn't know what's going on back there. He's going all the way across. This is a giant lake.
He fishes to win. Many others fish not to lose.
Yeah.
Roll up. I get a score tracker update. Dean Rojas just caught his next bass, and I'm like, oh my gosh. You are now lead is like 2 and some change. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I shut down. I see out there, I see my brush pile. I cast that freeloader out there. I'm just like, please, just one bite. And I'm shaking it. And he goes, tick. Zzz. And I'm like, oh, it's hurting.
This guy's a magician.
That moment right there was just like the moment, I knew I had a really good shot to win. I knew at that point in time we're going to cover it. We're going to get about 5-pound lead now. And Dean hadn't caught one all day at over 5 pounds. So with 10 minutes to go or 7 minutes to go, I catch this fish. And to lock up the win, man, run across the lake. Everybody probably called me crazy on live. They're over here like, Wheeler, you're the crazy guy. But, I had a gut feeling, and you always have to trust your gut in this sport. And as the clock runs, counts down.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Lines out.
Congratulations, your 2024 Stage 2 Santee Cooper champion.
You could have a sigh of relief.
Oh man, I don't even know what to say. My little girl, she's sort of like me. She always likes to win, and she told me, she says, Daddy, you don't let DC and Adrian win this week. You got to bring home the trophy, and so we're bringing home the trophy, darling.
There's a lot that goes into tournament bass fishing. There's a lot of strategy. There's a lot of work. They get behind the scenes. There's a lot of prep, and there's a lot of passion.
Put your hands together. Make some noise for the Suzuki Stage 2 Santee Cooper. 7-time winner of the stages, Jacob Wheeler.
And tournament wins, they just don't come along very often. They're not every single tournament. You're not going to win one every single year. So you have to take the time to step back and appreciate it. Those moments when things go right and you make the right decisions. And this week at Santee Cooper, we made the right ones.